Everyone, Alex here again, accredited mental health social worker and owner of Mindful Recovery Services in Avoca Beach. Thanks for joining me again. If you haven't already, watch my vlog Dialectics 101, okay? Because I'm going to be talking in this vlog about a specific dialectic of safety versus freedom. And so go back and watch that vlog so that you understand what a dialectic is, and this will make a lot more sense for you. Okay, so assuming you've watched that vlog, I'm going to talk about this very common dialectic that I work with people, and this is a dialectic of safety versus freedom. Okay, so these are actually opposites, right? So extreme safety being, preoccupation with just really staying safe, doing what's familiar, sticking with what we know, right? When we're stuck in extreme safety, we're not having a lot of freedom, are we? Right? If my main goal is to only do what is totally predictable and very low risk, I don't have a lot of freedom to do other things. I'm stuck in the same routine, the same patterns. My world is probably very small, right? The other end of the extreme is extreme freedom. Now, that sounds great, but there's some problems with too much freedom, right? If we're, getting a lot of freedom, we might not be keeping ourselves safe enough, right? If we're just doing anything that we feel like and we're not taking any time to assess the risks or the red flags or things like that, that might not be great either. Okay, so again, we're going to think about this as a continuum like I talked about in Dialectics 101. So this continuum of grey area, here are the two extremes. So I have to line my hands up again. So extreme safety and extreme freedom. There's all this grey area in the middle that we could explore. Okay. Now, typically when I see people, they're not stuck in extreme freedom. Sometimes, but not typically. Sometimes they switch between the two extremes, never passing through the middle. But it is very common that I see people that are stuck in extreme safety. So often what's driving that is fear, right? Maybe they've had some past trauma or bad experiences, or for some reason they've learnt that the world is a big, scary, dangerous place. And so their main priority in life is to just stick with what they know, right? Now, the problem with that is, again, their life gets and their world gets very, very small, and they actually then can't do things they want to do, right? Like maybe they want to go and study, right? Do a new course. Well, you can't do that if you're stuck in extreme safety, right? Because that requires taking a bit of a chance. It requires meeting new people and going to a new place and trying some new things, and it means risking failure and all that sort of stuff. So if someone's stuck in extreme safety, what we'd start to look at is, okay, so how could we just move this way a little bit? So again, our goal is not necessarily 50-50 in the middle, right? Or to suddenly get all this freedom. How can we just move this way a fraction? So what is a small chance that I could take? How could I let go of a little bit of safety and therefore get a little bit more freedom? And typically if we do that, we'll be able to build on that and move somewhere nicely towards this grey area. We can always retreat back to extreme safety if we want, but let's just experiment with, let's give up a little bit of safety, and if I was going to do that, what would feel doable? Maybe I'm going to make that phone call to the uni and ask them about things. Maybe I'm going to go to the open day and see what's on, right? Maybe I'll talk to that person who's at that uni and go and see them for coffee and chat about their experiences and get some advice. So it's just these little steps, right? Let go of a little bit of safety, get a little bit of freedom. Yeah. And if we were in the other extreme, if we were doing lots of stuff and we weren't being very safe about it, we might say, all right, how could I just slow this down? How could I just get a little bit more safety in here? How might I just research something before I do it a little bit more, or ask more questions, or just slow down the impulsive behavior, think a little more before I act, right? So again, we're looking at this sort of grey area. Grey is good. So if you notice that you or someone you know is stuck in a safety extreme or a freedom extreme, maybe think about what are those little steps that could be taken to just, give up a little bit of one and get a little bit of the other. That's the trade-off. All right. Any questions, let me know. Thanks again for watching. Bye.